You see, while it is absolutely true that we can be a failure in life, it is also true that we have to wait till the very end of life before that label can ever be put on. You know what's also true? God is the only one that can assign that label. Not you, not me, not any of us. Only God. Because only God knows what could have been, what should have been. Only God knows what the plan was all along. Only God knows those things. And He's the only one that can ever say in the end whether somebody's life was a success or a failure. But here we are, wanting to take God's rule and use the label and slap it on ourselves long before God would ever even think of doing it. Which is at the end, when all the evidence is in. Failure is an event, not a person. No longer be afraid that if you fail at something, it just means you're a failure and you're a loser. Because you are not. And this brings us to at least what occurred to me is this second thing that scares us so much about failure. And with any luck, when I push this button, it will come up. But I don't know. You know what we're afraid of? That if we fail at something, our lives are ruined. Oh man, if I fail at something, especially if I fail at something big, it means my life will be miserable. It means I cannot achieve the full measure of happiness and joy. It means I will no longer have the impact and significance I could have had. It means plan A is gone, and now I'm on plan B, and my life will be so much less than ever could have been. And if I fail at something big, it means my life is basically ruined, subpar, second class, no good. You ever been tempted to think that way? Because right after you fail, it feels like it, doesn't it? Do you know what the truth is, friends? The truth is, failure is a stepping stone to success. That's reality. Failure is actually a stepping stone to success. The reality is that what failure does, it creates the exact kind of environment that is necessary for real success in life to actually happen. It's a stepping stone to success. You see, when we fail, we actually create conditions, even though they are painful or difficult, that a dynamic can happen in us so that failure becomes nothing more than the doorway to a successful life. Now, I came across this video that illustrated it so well. And right now, oh God, please let this video work, because it has sound in it. Okay, are we ready? Let's just see what happens. And if not, then it will be our 10th failure for the day and we'll move on, all right? Check this out, hopefully.
Dismissed from drama school with a note that read, wasting her time, she's too shy to put her best foot forward. Turned down by the Decca recording company who said, we don't like their sound and guitar music is on the way out. A failed soldier, farmer, and real estate agent. At 38 years old, he went to work for his father as a handyman. Cut from the high school basketball team, he went home, locked himself in his room, and cried. A teacher told him he was too stupid to learn anything, and he should go into a field where he might succeed by virtue of his pleasant personality. Fired from a newspaper because he lacked imagination and had no original ideas. His fiancée died, he failed in business twice, he had a nervous breakdown, and he was defeated in 8 elections. If you've never failed, you've never lived.
Isn't that cool? I mean, those lives simply illustrate failure doesn't need to ruin your life. Failure can actually be the stepping stone to real success in life if you respond to failure correctly. Here's why it is, I think, that failure can actually be a stepping stone to success. Because first, failure makes us more wise. It makes us more wise. You see, when we fail, we learn so much. We learn about ourselves. We learn about life. We learn about other people. We learn about the way the world works. When we fail, we become more teachable. When we fail, we become moldable. When we fail, we put ourselves in a situation where we can really learn and change and be molded so that we can be wiser as we move into our future. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, the first few verses, says something fascinating. It says the house of mourning, mourning, is better than the house of feasting. It's better to be in a sad place than in a happy place, because in the sad place there is wisdom. When we fail, when we make mistakes, when we drop the ball, there is so much to be learned in that. And we have a more teachable spirit that can cause us to learn the lessons so we can move forward as a wiser person. A fascinating experiment was conducted by a ceramics teacher at a college several years ago. This experiment that he did, he took the entire class, he divided it into two sections. He looked at one section, he says, okay, here's what's going to happen. Your grade this semester will be entirely determined by you turning in just one project. You have all semester to work on it. And the excellence of that project will determine your grade. He then took the other half of the room. He said, okay, you're not going to be like them. Your grade will be determined solely by volume. I will weigh the amount of pottery you have done at the end of the year, and if you have like more than 50 pounds, that's an A. 40, that's a B. 30, it's entirely by volume. Okay, everybody got it? Go to work. And one semester, they each worked. The one group just, the one piece, they're going to get it just right. And the other group just firing pieces out like crazy because it's all about how much they weigh. Semester ends, projects turned in, one from each student, piles and piles from the other. Then they'll point to the experiment. They took the best pieces from all the piles and the one great piece from all the people, and they put them together, and all the art teachers agreed all the best pieces came from the quantity group, not the quality group. Because the people in the quantity group were free to try and fail and experiment, and it didn't matter, and to learn and to grow because there was no pressure, and they learned something every time, and the things got better and better and better. But the ones who only had one, who had to get it just right, were so consumed with it being just perfect that they couldn't make a mistake, that their work ended up being of less quality. Basic human reality. When we fail, we learn. When we learn, we get better. Failure is a stepping stone to success because it makes us more wise.